Let's get started. So we're going to come to a comfortable cross-legged position on the mat. The only thing today, when you take your cross-legged position, just wiggle your ankles away a little bit so it's a slightly wider cross-legged position. Feels a little odd, but that's fine. Allow your knees to drop out to the side, sitting really tall, grounding down in the sit bones. Place the palms of the hands down onto the thighs. Take some beautiful shoulder rolls back, just releasing out the shoulders. Allowing the shoulders to still, and then maybe just taking some nice head and neck rolls, left and right. Letting anything go. And then returning to centre. Thinking about grounding down in those sit bones, the shoulders drop back and down, allowing that space in the chest, in the heart, allowing you to have that space and openness in the lungs, and then beginning to flick or close your eyes. Just allowing your breath to soften. Allowing that natural inhale and that natural exhale to be soft and fluid. Just noticing how you breathe in, the transition between that inhale and the exhale. Just notice that little change in the breath, and then breathing out. So it's almost the handing over of the inhale to the exhale. Focus on that transition today. Breathing in, transitioning over, and then exhaling out. Just taking a few moments here to explore that way of breathing, that real conscious breathing. You can breathe in and out the nose, or you can breathe in and out through the nose and through the mouth. Don't worry about the length of the breath just yet. Instead, focusing on that transition. So breathing in, handing that inhale over to the exhale, noticing that pause, that little moment in between, and then exhaling. So it's an inhale, a pause, a transition, and then an exhale. And then bringing one hand to your chest, to your heart, and one hand to your belly. Continue with that focused breathing, but just begin to feel into it a little more. You can push your palms of your hands in a little harder into the belly, into the chest. Noticing how that inhale feels, that little pause, that transition, and then the exhale. Keeping that rhythm going in your own time, begin to bring the inhale in through the nose and exhaling out the nose as we close off our lips, just settling in. Breathing in together, finding that pause, that transition, and then the exhale. Breathing in, pause, exhale. Breathing in, pause, exhale. And then beginning to grow tall with every inhale. So as you inhale, the chest begins to puff up. You begin to lengthen up through the back of the spine. Draw your belly button into the spine to engage the core and take the breath to the tip of the head. Pausing. And as you exhale, keep the length in the body, but just ground down in the sit bones. So keeping yourself really anchored. Taking a couple of rounds in your own time. Again, focusing on that pause, that little bit of space in between the inhale and the exhale. One more time together, breathing in. Growing tall, allowing the chest to puff open, pausing, noticing that space, and then exhaling out the nose as you ground down in the sit bones. Release your palms back down onto the thighs. Gently flicker open your eyes. Allow that light back in. Maybe allow the corners of the mouth to lift in a little smile. Check that you haven't drawn your legs in towards you. Make sure you're in a wide-legged cross-leg position. Take an inhale, growing tall. And then as you exhale, begin to walk your fingertips away from you, just beginning to fold the body down forward. Now you don't need to come very far. I'll show you from the side. So as we walk forward, think about drawing your belly button to the ankles. So your belly button almost leads the way. And then the chest comes forward to the top of the mat. And you can just hold yourself here. If you want to come a little further, that's your choice. But make sure you're not doing it by rounding and scrunching the neck in. Instead, think about keeping the chest really open, the shoulders apart, and the gaze ahead of you. Holding here and breathing deeply. And if you do practice with an Ujjayi breath, that sound of the ocean, feel welcome. If Ujjayi is not in your practice, just think about bringing that breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe with the next exhale you can come a little further down, holding here. One more breath in. As you exhale, take yourself up through center and then take your fingertips either side of that left thigh. The legs still remain crossed. Inhale, reach up tall with the body, and then as you exhale, begin to walk the fingertips over to the left hand side. Again, not coming down too far. It's really early in our practice. It's early in the morning. Take your time. Breathing in through the nose. And as you exhale, seeing if you just can come down a bit further, keeping both of your bum cheeks on the ground. So not lifting up. Think about sending your right glute back down, keeping you stable and steady, breathing in. Exhale, bringing yourself back up, walk the fingertips over around either side of your right thigh, keeping the legs crossed. Inhale, find length. Exhale, begin to walk the fingers either side of that right thigh, just drawing your chest down in front of your knee. If, like me, you don't have too much space, don't worry, just bend your elbow. Breathing in. Exhaling, folding forward. One more time, breathing in. Exhale, bring yourself back up to center. And then just release your knees out and come to find a kneeling position so that your feet are flat down on the mat. Sit your bum down. Holding here, place your left fingertips down onto the ground. And then as you inhale, sweep your right arm up to the sky, bending into your left elbow. Just sweeping up all the way up the arm to the tips of the fingers. You'll feel the stretch all the way from the right hip, up the side of the right body, the right ribs, maybe even into the armpit. Draw the arm back a little and extend away all the way to the tips of the fingers. Just noticing if you're dropping forward, draw everything back. So this is a side bend, not a forward fold. Breathing in. Exhale, switching it over. Right fingertips come down, left arm sweeps up and over. Draw that left armpit back just a little. Draw your belly button to the spine, keeping that core nice and engaged. Breathing in. Exhale. You can bend into your right elbow. If there's not enough space, you can keep the arm straight, don't worry. Just remembering this is a side bend and not a forward fold, so we draw everything back, keeping it nice and open. Feeling that stretch all the way from the left hip, the left side body, the left armpit, all the way to the tips of the left fingers. Breathing in. Exhale, taking yourself back up through center. Take your hands behind you, tuck your toes and just clasp the hands together. If this is too intense for you, take hold of one another elbow or one another wrist, even just the fingertips. And if that doesn't make it there, hold like a little bit of cloth or a strap in between your hands. So if you can, clasping the fingers, kneeling, take your knees so that they're hip distance apart, tuck your toes, draw the shoulder blades together, engage your core so you're not dumping down into your lower back. Keep your gaze ahead of you. And then opening up in the shoulders, so just taking a very gentle back bend. Use the core to protect that lower back, keeping it nice and engaged. It's not about coming back as far as you can today. It's about drawing the shoulder blades together, holding here, breathing in. Exhale, release your toes down. And then walk your fingertips away out in front of you. So make sure your knees are hip distance apart. Draw your bum back. Begin to walk your fingers away from you. If you can, stay up on the tips of the fingers and just hover the front of the body. Holding here, gaze goes to the top of the mat unless there's discomfort on the neck, in which case draw your forehead down. Begin to walk the hands forward. Maybe they eventually meet it flat on the mat. Think about drawing your bum back as your arms reach forward. And just releasing everything down, releasing down in the chest, allowing the body to essentially unfold after your night's sleep. Really beautiful way of elongating the spine. Holding here, breathing in. And then as you exhale, slowly does it. Wiggle yourself forward so that you come down to lying on your mat. Draw your arms back so that the elbows are along the side of the body, the chest and the head are hovering. Place the palms either side of the chest. Release your forehead down. Release out your hips, give them a little wiggle. Breathing in. And then as you exhale, begin to lift up your chest and your head. Just taking them to a hover so that you can keep your gaze down. Draw the shoulder blades together. Arms come back along the side of the body. Elbows are bent. Palms really grounding down, gripping down into the mat. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, coming up to that same baby cobra, or maybe you can lift yourself up a little higher. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, the same again, either coming to that same level or maybe beginning to come a little higher. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, coming all the way up if that's okay for you. If you're coming all the way up to straight arms, you may take your gaze ahead. If not, keep your elbows bent, keep your gaze down, spine and neck nice and long. Releasing down to the mat. Inhale, coming back up to your all fours. Meeting here, spreading the hands really nice and wide, gripping down with the fingers. Knees come underneath your hips. Draw that belly button into the spine, holding really nice and steady here. As you inhale, drop your belly, open your chest. Take your gaze up to the sky, cat and cow. Exhale, suck that belly in, spread the shoulder blades nice and wide, chin draws to chest. Inhale, rolling through, opening up the chest, gaze goes to the sky. Exhale, suck that belly in, puffing up in between the shoulder blades, draw the chin into the chest, gaze comes to your navel. And then coming back through your cat and cows in your own time, taking a few rounds just to notice what feels good for you. Returning to that breath. returning to that idea of finding space in between your inhale and the exhale. Just noticing the transition. As we roll through our cat and cow, we really take it one steady bit at a time. So we move through it vertebrae by vertebrae, noticing how nice it is to wake up the spine, to release out any stresses or strains, to use the breath as a tool to flow with. Taking one more round together. Inhale, the belly drops, the chest opens, gaze goes up to the sky. Exhale, suck that belly in, chin draws the chest, puffing up in between the shoulder blades. And then returning to your neutral back, tucking your toes, hovering your knees, taking some little rocks forward and back with the gaze staying down. Engaging that core, holding here, breathing in. And then as you exhale, send your bum up and back and begin to pedal out the legs, finding your very first super lazy, easy going downward facing dog. And take your gaze in between your hands, keep the pedaling going, and begin to walk your feet up to the front of the mat. In between the hands or as close as you can. Taking hold of one another, elbow, take a little micro bend at the knees, release it out, let it go. Let the head hang heavy. You can release the arms if that feels good. Taking some little left and right movements, releasing out. Check you're not holding your head up slightly. Most of us want to hold it up a little, let it go. Take some little shakes left and right, up and down with the head, release it. Let it go, and then finding stillness, everything hands. Micro bend at the knees, draw your belly button into the spine, engaging that core, and begin to roll yourself all the way up to standing. And when you get there, release it out, really exaggerate those shoulder rolls. Let everything go, it feels really good. And then give it a little bit of a shake. Walking yourself up to the top of the mat, zipping up the legs if that's okay, and the hips. If not, take your feet hip distance apart. Think about lifting up all 10 toes and then replacing them back down so you're super grounded, strong and stable in that foundation of your Tadasana pose. So you're grounded in all four corners of the feet. Draw your glutes in, draw your belly button into the spine, no bum sticking out, tuck them in, tuck the pelvis under. Allow the arms to come along the side of the body. Palms open to the side of the body. Keeping our gaze ahead. Palms face forward, let the pinkies lead the way. Maybe give the pinkies a little bit of a wiggle and just notice how as soon as the pinkies lead the way, the shoulders automatically open. You have more space in the chest, more space in the lungs, and then breathing here. Exhale, let the shoulders drop a little. Breathing in. Exhale out the nose. Breathing in. Exhale. And then as you inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, the gaze follows. Exhale, folding forward at the hips, head hangs heavy. Inhale to find length to your fingertips. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step it back with the right, extend away in the heel, back with the left, extend away in the heel. Rock the body weight a little bit forward, immediately noticing how the shoulders are turned on, the core turns on. You're really stable, so driving away in the heels, strong legs, draw the glutes together, holding here in your plank, gaze stays down, spine and neck in one really nice long line. Breathing in. Exhale, drop your knees, release your toes, bend the elbows to bring yourself down as one. Draw the elbows back along the side of the body. Inhale, raise the head and chest off the mat. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, bend your knees, tuck your toes, sit your bum back, extend it away, and then send your bum to the sky. Take a little step in with the feet. Bend your knees as much as you need to, thinking about drawing your belly to the thighs, lifting up in the heels, finding a beautiful flat back in a still downward dog. Spreading the fingers really wide, gripping down onto the mat. Think about opening up in between the shoulders, so finding space in the shoulders. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Head hangs heavy, no strain here. Driving your bum, your hips up to the sky and finding this beautiful flat back. So again, thinking about sending your belly to the thighs, your chest to your toes, and not worrying about finding straight legs. Bent legs are absolutely fine, especially just in our second downward facing dog. Holding here, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. As you exhale, grip down into the mat with your fingers and send your right leg up to the sky. Bend in that right knee, kicking the right leg away, kicking away with the right foot, opening up in the hip. Take your gaze underneath your right armpit. Holding here, breathing in. As you exhale, either staying here or if you wish, pivoting around on your left foot, flipping your dog as you plant your right foot down. Drive your hips up to the sky, reach back with the right arm. Holding here, breathing in. Exhale, pivoting around on that left foot, coming up onto your right toes, plant your right hand, extend that right leg up to the sky, breathing in. And then as you exhale, bend the right knee so it comes to the center of the mat, hover it here. Again, pivot onto your left foot, planting your left foot down, thread your right leg through. Opening up the left arm to the sky, finding your falling star. Holding here, lifting up in the hips. Draw your belly button to your spine. Breathing in. Breathing out. Thinking about lifting up in the body, so not dumping down into the wrist or the foot or the hip. Lifting up, everything is light and breezy. Breathing in. Exhale, plant the left hand down, pivot up onto your left toes. Raise the right leg up to the sky. Holding here, breathing in. Exhale, release that right leg down. Maybe take some little pedals in the knees. If you wish, you can really squat down, sending your knees over to the right side. And then over to the left, just making sure whatever you choose to do, you find balance. And then together we'll stay here in our downward facing dog, rising up on our toes, bending into our knees, drawing the belly to the thighs, lifting up in the hips, spreading the fingers wide, holding here in our downward facing dog. I know it's been quite strong. Hold it steady, hold it strong. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale, raising the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bending in the left knee, kicking that left leg away. Take your gaze underneath your left armpit, holding steady, either holding this position or if you wish, taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, plant that left foot down, pivoting around on the right foot, lifting up onto the left toes, sending your left arm back. Flipping your dog. Think about drawing your glutes together, lifting up in the hips and lifting away with the left arm. Holding here, head hands heavy, breathing in. Exhale, pivoting around on the feet. Plant the left hand down, send that left leg up to the sky. Holding here, breathing in. As you exhale, draw the left knee into the center of the mat. Holding here, hover. Staying here, or if you wish, extending the left leg through. Planting the right foot down and finding your falling star. Reaching up with the right arm. Send your hips up. Thinking about reaching up rather than grounding down on this one. So lifting up in the body. Draw your belly button to the spine. Keep your core super engaged. Falling star. Breathing in. Exhale, release the right hand down. Pivot onto your right toes. Send your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, release it down. From here, either take a vinyasa or take a child's pose. Knees come wide, big toes touch, sit your bum back. Or if you're taking your vinyasa, we roll the body forward, hovering in our plank position. Either dropping the knees or just bending the elbows, taking baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths in your downward facing dog, or 3 more breaths in your child's pose, whichever you wish. Taking a deep breath in. Long exhale. Coming back to that idea of finding the space in between the inhale and the exhale. Just noticing that space, that transition, that pause, whatever connects with you best. Slowing the breath down. Breathing in. As you exhale, everyone coming back to meet in our downward facing dog. Together, taking a deep inhale here. As you exhale, take your gaze in between your hands, rising up onto your toes, and then take little steps to bring your feet into your hands once more. Allow the body to hang here, let it go. Place your left fingertips down on the mat, and as you inhale, raise your right arm up to the sky, draw your right shoulder back, spread wide in the fingers. Exhale, release the right fingertips down as you draw your left arm up and back. Think about really drawing it back in the left shoulder. Exhale, release it down. Head hangs heavy, micro bend in the knees. Roll yourself up relatively quickly to standing. Arms come to the sky. Maybe you want to take a little bit of a back bend. Maybe you want to cactus the elbows. Whatever feels good. Release it down, give everything a little bit of a shake out. Coming back to the top of your mat, zipping up your legs if it's okay on the hips, or taking your feet hip distance apart. Draw that bum in. So we're tucking the pelvis under. If it still helps, placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the lower back. Tuck the bum under. Use that connection to lift up in the body. And then the arms come along the side, palms face forward, pinkies lead the way. Holding here in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Super strong. If you want to lift up all 10 toes and replace them back down, please feel welcome to. Holding here, breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, folding forward at the hips, head hangs heavy. Inhale to find length, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step the left leg back, drive away in the heel, right leg comes back. Drive away in the heel, then rock your body slightly forward. Draw the belly button into the spine, really strong in our plank. Really think about gripping down in your fingertips as you lift up in between your shoulder blades. And maybe you notice how you are dropping down and how much more space you have when you lift up. Send that energy away in the heels, gaze stays down, breathing in. As you exhale, pivot onto the side of your left foot, finding your Vashisthasana, your side plank. You can either take this option with the legs straight, or you can plant your right foot, drop your left knee, holding here. Or you can take your side tree. So if you're taking your side tree, think first of all about drawing your glutes in together, lifting up in the hips, and then begin to raise that right leg, bending in the right knee. Use your right hand to grab hold of your right ankle and place it down onto the thigh, avoiding the knee. From here, you'll notice your hip drops. Think about lifting it up. Raising the right arm up to the sky, holding here. Gaze stays out to the side, breathing in. Exhale in whichever version of your side plank you've taken, holding here straight, holding steady. Really strong, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, if you have your side tree or your side plank, lift up that right leg and take your gaze to the top of the mat where you would plant your right hand down, and see if you can plant your right foot there. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, pivot onto the left toes, plant that right foot down. If not, find your way to meet us here. So our back left toes are tucked, our right foot is planted, our right knee is bent, holding here. Breathing in. Runner's lunge, exhale. Inhale, reaching up with the arms, lifting up in the body, holding here, holding steady. Think about drawing the belly button into the spine and tucking the ribs in so our ribs aren't flared or we're not dropping down into our lower back. Reaching up in the arms, breathing in. As you exhale, take your hands to your hips and just hop that left foot in a little bit. Depending how much space you have in front of you, you might want to draw your right foot back a little. And we have about 1 metre in between our feet. From here, as you inhale, reach up tall in the body. And then as you exhale, coming down, taking a little micro bend in the right knee, raising onto your left toes. Maybe you can lift your left foot. Thinking about keeping the hips level, lifting up in the leg. As you draw your chest down, holding your hands on your hips, or if you wish, you may take your arms behind like wings, or out in front of you if you have enough space. Think about leading the way with your little pinky toe to open the flat, the base of the foot up to the sky. So you're thinking about leveling out your hips. And then as you draw your chest down, you begin to lift up in the shoulders, lift up in the leg, holding steady here in your warrior 3. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, release your right fingertips down. Keep your left leg raised. If it's too much, you may touch your toes down to the mat. Draw that left hip open. Extend in the right leg. And then reach your left arm up to the sky, finding your half moon, holding here. Pointing the left toes or flexing the left foot, keeping that left leg super engaged. Gaze stays down, or you can take it out in front of you or up to the sky, just challenging your balance. Whatever you wish, breathing in. Exhale, release those left fingertips down. Keep that left leg raised and see if you can begin to draw your chest to your right thigh, to your right shin as your belly comes onto the right thigh. Bending in the elbows, finding your half splits, lifting up in the left leg, breathing in. Exhale, bring that left leg back together and then begin to pedal the legs out, left and right, releasing out in the thighs. Release the feet down to the mat, let everything hang heavy. And then inhaling as we roll the body all the way back up to standing. Maybe you want to take some shoulder rolls once more. Maybe take some little shakes, pedal out in the legs. Coming back to the top of your mat. Take your thighs, your legs all zipped up together, or taking your feet hip distance apart. Holding here, place your hands on your hips, draw your glutes in together, lift all 10 toes off the mat, replace them back down. Release the arms along the side of the body, palms facing forward. Inhale, sweep it up to the sky. Exhale, fold it forward. Head hangs heavy. Inhale to find length. Exhale, bend your knees, bending your knees, planting your hands, step your right leg back, extend away in the heel, left leg back, bring the body weight forward, holding steady, holding strong, breathing in. As you exhale, pivot onto the side of your right foot, finding your Vashisthasana, your side plank, lifting up in your hips, remembering your options. So you may plant your left foot down, bending your right knee, but think about lifting up in the hips. You may take that option, you may keep your straight-legged option. You may just want to raise the left leg up so you find a bit of a star shape. You can raise your left arm up. Or if you wish, taking that side tree, so bending in your left knee, use your left hand to grab hold of the ankle and plant that foot down onto your right thigh, avoiding the knee, lifting up in the hips. Send your left arm up to the sky. Maybe your gaze follows, maybe you can smile, holding here, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale. One more breath wherever you are. Breathing in. Exhale, keep that left arm raised. And then see if you can take that left leg to where you would want to naturally place your left hand. Planting it down, really nice, pivoting onto your right toes. If you want to remove yourself from your side plank, coming back to find us in our runner's lunge. So making sure that our left foot is firmly planted down in between our hands, our left knee is bent, our right leg is extended back behind us, really pushing away in that right heel up onto our right toes. Holding here, deep breath in. Exhale, reaching the arms up to the sky, lifting up in the body. Holding here, checking you're not dumping down, lifting up, nipping those ribs in, so no flared ribs. Breathing in. Try and draw the shoulders away from the ears so we're not scrunching up into our ears. Breathing in. And then as you exhale, take your hands to your hips, beginning to walk that back foot in and maybe the front foot back, making sure that our feet are about 1 metre distance apart. Little micro bend in that left knee, coming up onto our right toes. And as we come up onto our right toes, we begin to hover that back foot, beginning to draw the chest down as we lift up in the right leg, trying to keep those hips level, pointing with your right toes and lifting up in the leg, lifting up in the chest. And then if you want to, you may open your wings, holding here, breathing in, thinking about lifting up. If you want to, you can extend your arms out in front of you, breathing in. And then as you exhale, place your left fingertips down on the mat. Keep that right leg raised, open up in the right hip. You can use your right hand to help you draw that right hip back. And then extend your right arm up to the sky, finding our half moon. Breathing here. Gaze can be down, it can be out to the side, it can be up to the top hand. See what works for you. See if you want to challenge your balance. Breathing in. Exhale, release that right fingertips down, keep that back leg raised and begin to draw your belly onto the thighs and your chest towards the shins as you lift that right leg up towards the sky, finding your half splits. Breathing in, your standing splits. Breathing in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, draw that right leg through, pedaling out, releasing, letting go. And then allow the body to hang here for a moment before you take a micro bend at the knees, and then you sweep your arms up to the sky again. If you want to, take a little back bend, feel welcome. Exhale, reaching tall. Take your hands down through your heart center, release the arms along the side of the body, finding your Tadasana. Lifting up all 10 toes, replace them back down. Legs and feet should be zipped up together or feet hip distance apart. Draw your glutes in, holding here, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale to find length. Exhale, bend your knee, step back with the left, step back with the right. Bring the body weight forward, holding here, either dropping your knees and taking baby cobra, or coming down with the body so that we hover just off the mat, flip the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. As you exhale, take your gaze in between your hands, step forward with the right, step forward with the left. Bend your knees, sit your bum back. Hold here. Make sure you can see your big toes. And then extend your arms along the side of the ears. Nip your ribs in. Really make sure you're sitting down low in your chair, your Utkatasana. This is a fierce pose. Holding here, breathing in. As you exhale, begin to lower yourself all the way down and see if you can take yourself to a seated position and then extend your legs out in front of you, finding yourself in your Navasana, your boat pose. Really nice. Breathing in. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, extend the legs away, extend the arms along the side of the body, but keep yourself hovered and lifting up. Breathe in. Exhale to move back into the center. Breathing in. Exhale, opening up. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there. 3, 2, 1. Hold, separate the legs, hover, lift up in the body. Breathing in. Exhale, let it go. Melt it down onto the mat. Zip up your legs, draw your right knee into your chest, wrap your hands around that right shin and squeeze the right thigh into the body. Gaze goes up to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, use your left hand on the outside of the right knee and just draw That right knee over to the side. Yogi's choice whether or not you want to have the right shoulder lifted, so you're really twisting more into the base of the body, or keep that right shoulder down and focus on just keeping the core engaged as you send your right knee over to the left hand side. Whatever you prefer. Supine twist, releasing, letting go. Beginning to let go of your breath. Beginning to slow down. Breathing in. Exhale safely, bringing yourself back through center. Squeeze that right knee into the chest. Exhale, release it away. Point the toes. Inhale, left knee draws in, squeezing the left thigh into the chest. And then using your right hand on the outside of the left knee to take it over to the right hand side. Yogi's choice, if you want to have your shoulder lifted. If your shoulder's lifted, you'll be able to twist further, but there's no need to get that left knee onto the ground. Just explore what feels good for you today, what feels like a nice release. Letting go of your breath. You can even close off your eyes for a moment if that feels good. And then coming back in through center, squeeze that left thigh into the body. Release it away, squeeze both thighs into the body, squeeze them in, and then release them out so that your feet come to about the same width as the mat. The feet flop out to the side, drop the shoulders down, palms face up towards the sky, begin to flutter, close your eyes if they're not already shut. And relaxing down into our Shavasana, our final pose. The most important pose of our whole class, of all of this hard work. Taking the time to absorb the goodness. Noticing all of the little tingles, the sensations in the body, and just acknowledging them as like little thank yous. Oh, moments of gratitude to yourself for taking the time this morning, the time for your body and for your mind. Allow your breath to slow, to soften. Notice if you're holding any tension anywhere in the body. And if you are, maybe take a little wiggle, make sure you're super comfortable. You could even send the breath there for a moment just to release out any knots. And then bringing your attention to your forehead. Begin to release, to relax all of the muscles in your forehead. Sweeping that sense of relaxation around the eye sockets, releasing the eyes, unfurrowing the brow. Releasing, relaxing the cheeks, the lips. Softening in the jaw, releasing the tongue from the top of the mouth, letting it go. Releasing in the throat, in the neck, letting the shoulders open and soften. Relaxing, releasing all the way down the arms, the elbows, the forearms, to the fingers, the tips of the fingers, palms open, open to what's to come. Allowing your chest to soften, your heart to soften. Releasing down each vertebrae of the spine, softening in the belly, softening in the hips, the glutes, relax, softening in your thighs, softening in the knees, let them go. Softening in the calves, the ankles, all the way to the tips of the feet. And then just releasing everything down into the mat, allowing the body to feel really heavy, grounded, super grounded. And this feeling of being grounded, this heavy body allows everything to release. So just letting go as you melt down, like you're lying in sand. And if thoughts come and go into the mind, that's absolutely normal. That's totally fine. Allow them a little moment of space, then let them drift off like a passing cloud. Taking a few more moments here in silence, and then I'll bring you back out. Staying here in your Shavasana for as long as you wish, or in your own time, drawing your right knee into your chest, your left knee into your chest, wrapping your arms around and giving yourself a big hug. Rocking to your right hand side, the side that brings energy for the rest of our day. Then keeping your eyes lightly closed, bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position, ideally cross-legged on your mat. Placing the backs of the hands on the tops of the knees, lightly touching your thumb and index finger in your chin mudra. Beautiful way to seal our practice, a reminder to be present, to take all of these beautiful sensations and tingles with us for the rest of our day. The sense of balance in the body, and the flow and the ease that can be brought to you just by breathing softly. You can use this tool of inhaling, noticing the space, focusing on the pause in between the breath before you exhale. You can use this as a tool at any point throughout your day, or even into the night where you need to find a place of relaxation, of ease. It means to be kinder to your mind and to your body. And just to slow down and relax. And relaxing doesn't always need to be thinking of nothing. It can be having a clear mind, a clear sense of focus of what you want to do or achieve. That is also fine. So allow your mind to take you where it wants to, from time to time, and just appreciate it for what it is. Rather than fighting those thoughts, allow them to be there with you. Just find space between you and them. Together, taking a deep breath in through the nose. Opening the mouth, sigh out, let it go. Gently flickering open your eyes and bringing yourself back into the room. Taking your hands to your heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.